But I did want to highlight the fact that we are experiencing movement, okay? We are growing. We just had, Bob, how many people just went through Body Life Basics?
In the last quarter,
A little over 300. So we're expecting probably just a little bit under 300 maybe to go through Delta now, if they haven't already, okay? We're experiencing that movement. We're trying to keep people. We have another Body Life Basics course coming up, actually 2 over the next couple of months, the different start points. So we're ready for the next batch to come through, okay? And are you guys, by the way, hearing good buzz about that experience? What kind of buzz are you hearing about the Body Life Basics journey that most of you went on? Okay, we're going to spend some time talking about this.
happy we have a process.
Okay,
Still a little confusing.
good. Happy we have a process, still a little bit confusing, and it'll continue to become more clear as you continue to understand it more and more. That's good. What else? Anybody else? Any feedback? Everybody agrees with his assessment? Okay, good, fun. Good, good, good. Okay, that's where we're doing the financial thing. There you go. Keep moving. He does a lot of these fun things. From the standpoint of prayer, and now we're going to just go through the globe real quick, okay? So those of you who have different responsibilities in different areas, I'm just asking you to get up. You have a 1-minute little, here's what's happening, okay? Pastor Warman is not here today. He's on vacation.
Down under.
Way down under, like New Zealand and Australia. He's going crazy. Very exciting times. Keep praying for him that he's like alive, you know, and having fun and stuff. Okay, that's good. But wanted to highlight one thing about prayer and spiritual disciplines. Did you guys notice that we shifted from signing in on that booklet to signing in on the cards just recently? Well, we had a massive influx in doing that in prayer requests. And so they're really excited about that. We had, I think, 200-300 came in over the Imagine Christmas thing. And so we're going to keep probably going with the cards. Okay? We're not going to do that. We're going to do the book, I think, and the cards from time to time is what I think we're going to do. Somebody changed that thing and didn't tell me. We're going to clarify. See, clarity is important, all right? So there we go. Prayer and spiritual discipline. Yeah, the books of the Lord. It's a sacred cow. I love the book. Okay, I got it. Personal and corporate outreach, okay? A couple of things. Do you want to say anything about Imagine Christmas 2.0?
Sure.
Okay, hi.
So
Thanks for coming.
So this is my 1 minute.
Yeah, why don't you do that and then talk a little bit about worship too, because we got that.
Okay.
You got to stand up and face the camera.
Okay.
Channel 5. Reporting.
I think our whole Christmas season, not just Imagine, but our Christmas Eve services, Christmas Day, it was just a real blessing to a lot of people. I was really glad that in the end, it was a vision of Tim and Danny Bocci to add a 7 p.m. Sunday presentation of Imagine, and we had almost 300 people there Sunday night. I was just praying, Lord, send someone. And he blessed us, and we had 300. And I was reading through a lot of the comments that came back on the cards, and the comments that really got me excited were, I looked at Christmas in a new way like I never had before. One was, and this goes back to what Judy said, I intentionally, the 12 kids that I called my child actors who came and saw baby Jesus and presented gifts, and I intentionally picked those to have black, white, 8th grade, 1st grade, blonde, dark, Filipino, and one of the cards came back. When the children went up and saw baby Jesus, I just started crying saying, wow, he came for everybody, you know? So that, anyway, there were so many awesome comments just about faith-related comments about after seeing Imagine, and that's what it's all about. Our next thing coming up in our music and arts ministry, the weekend before Easter, March 23rd, 24th, we are presenting Known by the Scars, and that's going to be Gloria Day Choir and Brass presenting that 6 o'clock, 9:30, and 11. So we're excited about that too. Thank you.
Well done, well done. Okay, and then we've also had a couple of other outreaches. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit later about the clinic, but of course that's a big outreach, right? Are you excited about what God's doing drawing people? One of my most exciting things is on those response cards, because it's fun to actually know what people are thinking, right? I think there was 17 people that said this was their making a first time. We didn't say like making a first time decision or anything like that, but like I need to connect with Christ. There was a box there, and 17 people. See, for the thousands of dollars that we spent, the hundreds of man hours it took an enormous amount of time. I think that's worth it. You see what I'm saying? And then so many, hundreds of people saying, I'm recommitting deeper, I need to go deeper, I'm feeling led to go. So praise God. God is good. All right, so now we're going to do some other fun stuff, season of life specific stuff. Okay, I want to start with Ed on this one, okay? And so Ed's got a presentation. We got a lot of exciting things happening right now at the school level.
One of the things that many of you know we've been trying to work on over the last few years is marketing the school to the community, and our approach has been not so good. What we need is some kind of focus. And so Nancy Tomasek, who's our admissions counselor, and I have been working on this with staff and with others, and we've hired a consultant, a branding consultant, who came in to school here back in November, did interviews with staff, and in December did it with parents, interviews with parents and that. But a little bit about them. Ovis Otter is a consulting firm we've hired out of Massachusetts, and in addition to working with us, they do a lot of schools across the country. We're one of the first Lutheran schools that they've worked with, but they've worked a lot with Catholic schools, private schools, non-denominational schools, and the like. What we're looking for is a brand positioning statement. And this has 3 components. It is a profile, it lists 3 to 5 benefits, and it lists 3 to 5 skills as well. And I'm going to share those with you in a little bit. The approach that he took is he came in, like I said, in November, and he interviewed 22 different faculty members and staff. He interviewed 15 different families. And what he did is he gave me a list of criteria that he wanted in the families, and those were how the families were chosen. He did in-person and one-on-one telephone interviews. His research is qualitative versus quantitative. General experiences, word-of-mouth, competitive, observation, strengths, weaknesses, and more were the topics of his interviews. Now, what he found out was he identified who our parents and staff felt were our competition. And you see, this goes all over the place, really. As close as Medina Christian School here, and St. Walter's, but also as far away as Wheaton Christian Grammar School and Quest Academy in Palatine. So all over. But these were the ones that our parents and staff identified as our competition. Observation here. Trinity is not communicating one overarching message to the public today, and this presents an opportunity. It's easier to define and communicate a message than it is to change a current message. So our inadequacies are really our benefits now. It's kind of a neat thing. What he found out is Trinity is identified in different ways. Some people call it Trinity, some people call it Trinity Lutheran School, Trinity Roselle, et cetera, et cetera. What we want to do is get one name that's always out there in the front. So the positioning statement, redefined, we talked about that already. These are the skills. Based upon his interview with staff and his interview with the parents, these are the skills that were brought out that he found about Trinity. We introduce and we integrate the faith. And you can read that on your own there. But it talks about working with the kids and their understanding about what they're doing and what their purpose is. It's a great thing. And it's interwoven not just in religion class or in chapel on Wednesdays, but in all the classes and all the activities that we do. He surmised from the interviews that we do more and we do it well. He had, his comment was, he has never seen a staff so dedicated and committed and who spent as much time and energy nurturing their children and their school in any other school that he's interviewed yet. That speaks to the commitment of our teachers. And to me, that was one of the proudest moments that I could find from that. But and not only do they do a lot, but they do it well, very well. We hold students to a higher standard. We're always gentle. We're always trying to nurture. But we're also saying we got to notch it up. We got to bring the kids up. And that's what we're trying to do. We know each student. Every August, the teachers go out and they do home visits. They meet in the family's home. They talk with the families and the children and that. From that point on, that teacher is dedicated to the total life, totally committed to that child and bringing that child along. We maintain Trinity's traditions. You know, we've been here for over 100 years. We have some things that we just hold on to. And some of you are alumni, and you remember wall camp. You remember the 8th grade trip. You remember going on 4th and 5th grade Springfield trip or what have you. Those are traditions that we cherish and we hold on to. So there, in a nutshell, are the 5 basic skills that he's identified. Now, what are some of the benefits? Lead in high school, okay? You can read that paragraph, and as you are, I'll tell you, last summer, interviewing a prospective parent to school, I asked how she found out about Trinity, and she said, well, she went to Lake Park High School, and she met with one of the guidance counselors there and asked the guidance counselor, which school in the area, one of your feeder schools, prepares their children best enter into Lake Park High School? That was easy, the guidance counselor said. It's Trinity Lutheran. We got to get that message out, though. You know, and that's what this is all about. Experience the modern Christian school. It's another benefit. Even as we work so hard with traditional things around here, and we preach and we work with the children in their faith, we do it in a lot different way in many aspects. Having extended care from early in the morning till late in the evening, evaluating, applying, teaching innovations. You know, Monday, we start their second round of MAP testing for this school year. The first round in September, the teachers took the results of that and they produced and made some goals that they have to achieve to raise their students' test scores up higher, to work on the weaknesses that those kids had. They're going to take the test next week. They're going to take those results, assess their goals, and then create new goals for the next time period. You know, so we're using that test to build up kids. We're not just using it as a marketing tool that says how good we are. We live learning. Our faculty, some who have graduated from Trinity, you know, are skilled at what they do. They're passionate. They're leveraging their God-given talents to teach, to mentor, to guide, and ultimately inspire. You know, it says a lot when we have alumni who come back and want to be a teacher in our school. You know, they want to share that experience that they had. Fourth benefit, receive the attention you deserve. You send your child to our school, we're going to love that kid as much as we possibly can, and we're going to take care of him as best we can too. Not necessarily just between the hours of 8:15 and 3:15, but whenever we're needed. And our teachers will tell you, they get phone calls, they get emails, all hours of the night and day, and on the weekends too. They're going to learn more here, from sports to choir to drama to robotics. Robotics is kind of neat. Josh Ebert came to me last year and wanted to start a Lego team. And I wasn't really too sure what it was, but he was excited about it. He got a sponsor for it. I went to the Lego, what do you want to call it? Not contest, but tournament, okay? In, where was it, Mount Prospect? I was just awed what these kids were learning. And you think Legos are just plain? No, they had to create robots. They had a problem that they had to solve. It was just amazing. And they had to meet with different judges for different aspects of it and articulate to the judges, you know, what they were doing and why they did it and how they did it and all that. And for a first-time effort, we did really, really well. I thank Josh and Jim Livesey and the others who helped with it. Your child will have his confidence built. It's the sixth benefit he identified. Trinity graduates are confident in themselves and in their Christian values. Okay? That speaks a lot to what we have done here. So overall, what I'm sharing with you today is really going to be our focus. It's going to be our mantra, if you want. You know, we're going to keep telling people these are the things. So instead of having this shotgun approach to what we say, we're now more focused in what we're going to do it. And we're still working with Jack Foley, the consultant, and he's going to be here helping train teachers and staff and parents in getting this message out. One of the first things we're going to be doing is having an open house at the end of this month, January 27th. You heard about it in church last week. You hear about it again this week for prospects. And you'll see the ads in the newspapers and that coming up. But this is a tagline that, I'm going to skip by here, is that he drew out of all this information. And so our focus now is going to be Trinity, the modern Christian school. It's a ministry of Trinity Lutheran Church. And we've purchased a new URL line for the school, and it's going to be www.thechristianschool.org. This should help generate more online message to the people. And you know, what are the best ways right now of getting a message out about our school? It's word of mouth, and it's through the internet. And hopefully by doing this, we're going to be reaching more and more people. Over the Christmas break, Jack Foley came down here and we had a meeting, and he presented over 100 PowerPoint slides. You know, I've given you the really condensed version. And at this meeting, there were 3 or 4 council members, there were some staff people, people of interest who were there. So it hasn't been totally presented to them. It was just presented to our faculty and staff last Tuesday, and we're slowly getting that word out now.
Do you feel like it describes us? Yeah. And who we aspire to continually always be, right? Right? So getting that word out, again, we're identifying a big marketing problem. We're not getting the word out enough. And so he's trying to simplify, clarify. Did you hear a lot of simplify there? Right? So now we're Trinity. What else is it? I don't know. You got to ask more questions. The modern Christian school. It's very exciting. You guys are awesome. All right, so keep rolling here. Thank you, by the way, Ed, for that. Very clear. Very clear. Again, clarity being important. Okay? Okay, so we keep moving. He's got a lot of fun moving parts. All right, here we go. Mark is not here, correct? Correct. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an update. You know, we're basically booming at the seams over there in the SNX thing. So he's actually strategizing right now maybe how to go down to the community center and set up a thing. All kinds of fun stuff's going on. Praise God. Okay? Big time exciting stuff. Okay? Going on. Do you want to give a quick little report about what's happening with kids stuff, or just say that it's awesome?
Well, I can talk about
That'd be great. You got 1 minute.
kids' school. That's all I want.
I'm just joking. It's our time. Take
Okay, for those of you that don't know, we did start Kids Church at 11 o'clock service. Tomorrow will be the second week we're serving it, or it's in place. And it's all about the children attend church with their families, with their parents. And then during the sermon song, Pastor releases the children to the Sunday school teachers who are at the back of the church. The children go to the classroom with the Sunday school teachers, and they get a Sunday school lesson geared at their age level. And last week we had 42 kids in our kids' church for the first time, which was way over what I thought would happen. So God is truly great. And just that we will be gearing up for Vacation Bible School, which is in July. So Kids Church, Sunday School, Vacation Bible School, Pioneer Club, we're there.
Yeah, and in the handout there's a bunch of dates to remember. Maybe you want to go to that right now. Everybody please turn to the dates to remember. And there is a date on there for, is that the correct date on there for the Vacation Bible School, July? I believe so. Okay, if it's not, it'll change. But you know what I'm saying? Excellent, excellent. Jason? Yes. Right, okay, so he was going to do that, right. So we're going to have a massive gathering here, enormous. And Lincoln Brewster, who is this big famous Christian artist, is coming to do a concert on Saturday night. Register at Trinity Connect. It's on there right there, April 26th and 27th. Okay? But that's going to be an enormous thing. And the focus of it is to try and get a bunch of youth groups together in the area, encourage them, build them up, and it'd be a wonderful outreach here for us, for youth, to get excited about what's going on. And there'll be stuff all day. They're for workshops, and so this whole facility is going to be taken over. So it's a big deal we're trying to pull off here. And Lincoln Brewster is apparently one of the biggest names out there, I guess. I'm not a big yeah, and he's really cool. So, and he came here at a reduced rate because he wanted his kids to have an experience with like a normal church, in youth group, 7th, 8th, whatever, in high school. I can't remember the name, ages of his kids, but isn't that cool? So this is a special deal. So don't forget about that. So a lot going on with youth. Yes.
Some clarification, so there will be no Saturday night church that weekend, and the concert is not just for youth, it's for anybody.
Okay. There will be no Saturday night worship.
That's what I just said.
I know. Thanks. Thanks for coming. Okay. Thank you. That's fun. Okay. Anything else on a seasonal life specific ministry standpoint? You guys should know where your ministry falls in that. I think pretty much nothing else to highlight there. You've already highlighted the worship thing for us, Karen. Thank you very much for that. Moving right along. Membership, small groups, pastoral care. Obviously, big stuff coming. I'll just get a quick update on it. We're going through Delta, and we're launching into group life. We had a small group leader training. We had over 20 leaders here, which was exciting. Many of you have been trained. How many have been trained as a Christ Care small group leader? Only a couple of you here. Okay, I was expecting a lot of hands to go up. Okay, my bad. Those of you did all you guys come to the other core leader thing too? Everybody, okay, great. So we are really trying to do something that's now. How many of you were in a Christ Care small group at one point or time ever in the history of your life? Okay, so what were the rest of you doing with your lives? That was a joke. Nobody got it. Okay, trying to have fun here. I'm the fun guy, remember that, okay? So this is going to be our new normal. Does everybody get that, right? I mean, you've been hearing it on a million different data points, right? And everybody getting into, well, to have great groups, we need great leaders. We need people that, and it's not just going to be a little bit of a Bible study, we're going to be shepherding one another in the faith. We're going to enter into this covenant community, which I'm assuming everybody who's a part of this gathering anyway has done by entering in the church covenant, the new church covenant. Yeah, okay. That's at the end of Body Life Basics. Has everybody here, who has not signed the covenant and with an elder interview and all that kind of, okay? So a couple of you just get after that, okay? Okay? But now we've done this covenant so that it doesn't become meaningless. We're going to try and provide a little community for you to live out the spirit of that covenant. Does that make sense to you? Okay? Because we had a big tent out here a couple of years ago and everybody came and signed the covenant, right? Did it change the way we live? No. Not for most people. Some people maybe. We're going to try and provide every commitment that we ask people to do, give them a new lifestyle shift that actually encourages that commitment. Does that make sense? And that's what small group participation is going to be about. And we can do it in a variety of different forms, in a variety of different ways and all that stuff. But it will be this amazing community where life, and we're growing, and we're doing life together. Okay? So, we're going to do a Delta sign up here in about 2 seconds. Okay? But that is the end destination, again, of that, is to get into this life together, all right? And that's the big thing. We've already talked a little bit about the Body Life Basics in Delta. I want everybody in here to sign up for what is appropriate for you. If you've not done Body Life Basics, please sign up for it in the upcoming season here, whether it's now or after Easter. There's another season of all this. Or Delta. We want to get quite a couple hundred going through Delta. That's our big push right now.
I just want to make sure that everybody understands that the classes that we're offering aren't like just now. They're going to be ongoing. So we'll have Body Life Basics every quarter. We'll have Delta every quarter. I won't yell now. But we'll have all these classes. We'll have the core leader training. Maybe that'll be offered a couple times a quarter. Things like that so that we can help you. So we understand that time is very valuable, and if there's a class that you're interested in, it's not offered at a time that is convenient for you, let me know that as well. Because odds are there's a group of people like that. Out of a congregation of 5,000, if one person has a specific need, odds are there'll be at least 2 or 3 other people with that. So we want to try and accommodate you to help you get through these classes. So we'll continue to offer these ongoing. In the calendar, I noticed it said, like, the next round. Well, there really isn't a next round. It's going to be ongoing. We have midway through this quarter, we'll start up Body Life Basics again. We'll have new sessions of Delta, and that will keep going. So it's not like there's a lesser emphasis at any point in time in any of the classes. Thank you.
Make sense, everybody?
Oh, by the way, if he's the fun guy, I must be the mushroom since we work together.
Hey! Huh? This is a little bit more lively than you thought it'd be in here. See, I'm coming back next time just for that. The spontaneous stuff. That's what it's all about. Thank you, brother. Okay, ministry teams and missions. Do you want to give a quick report on missions, please? Because we want to know what happened down there in Guatemala, brother. I think God moved.
We went down in November. As usual, VBS had their thing going on at the church and at the real poor community, Los Limones. As usual, the numbers were out the wall again. They're seeing over 400 kids at one time. And that's with 4 of us going down, and everybody else is local doing it. The eyeglass clinics, in 4 days, we saw, what was the number now? 1,300 and something. I don't know. We went over 1,400. 1,400 people. We've trained down there now where we have 4 of the people that actually do interpreting for us, and the bus driver himself are actually doing part of the eye exams. We're trying to build it up so that when we go down there, we can go down with less people because they can do the work. And the idea behind everything we do is we're trying to build relationships with the local churches, the local people, and getting them to be able to take over and run all these programs. You can't do VBS for 4 people, for 400 kids. And they did it this time around. And that's because the local people are taking the responsibility, doing the extra work that needs to be done, not only while we're there, but before we get there. And we're doing the same thing with eyeglass clinics. We are teaching them how to do it, how to do the work they need to take care of their own people. And by doing that, everything succeeds. We're going down in June again, 22nd through 30th, if anybody wants to come. That'll be an eyeglass trip again. You're all invited. I don't know what the price is yet. I have to work it out. I just got back from 4 weeks in Germany, and I retired, so I'm completely lost in what I'm doing in this world right now. But come on down for that trip. There'll be VBS in November, another eyeglass trip in November. We're looking at another one in August. We need people. We also need ideas of where you want to go in the future. Missions needs more to do. And we need ideas from you, commitments from you to go and get these things done, so that's up to you to get it done. We can't do it on our own. We don't try. We need your help. So it's up to you. Where do we need to go? What do we need to help with? What's God calling you to do? And that's what every one of us has to do. God's going to tell you where you need to go and what you need to do. If he tells you, let us know. Because if it's something that's really that important to you, then it's something that should be important to us also. Thank you.
Amy.
Yeah, so Caring Service Ministry is revamping because we didn't do Christmas food baskets, which was different. And I actually got to put up Christmas decorations this year at my house, so that was kind of fun. But anyway, but we are moving to having a mobile pantry in the spring. And then by 2014, again, we're trying to work on something like 2 clinics a year, like what we do in November. I have a different idea I'm trying to move ahead with, where we might go out into the community and do service. They call them care fests and things like that. So there might be something coming in 2014 about that. But we're still deciding as a ministry what we want to do and what we need to cut and keep simple. But our newest member is Zippy. So if Steve, one of our handlers, wants to bring her over.
Zippy!
Zippy Zipporah, who is Moses' wife.
Don't freak the dog out now.
Her Bible verse is Psalm 35:10, which, that's okay. It's about, in one of the versions says, all my bones want to shout that it's you, Lord, who rescue us from those that are in need, or that are, oppressing us. So this is our girl, and she's just a year on January 2nd. So those of you that have a dog that's only a year old, isn't she great? My dog would still be like jumping and eating all the muffins. But anyway, she has been trained by Lutheran Church Charities. You all know probably Lutheran Church Charities because of what you've seen in Sandy Hook. They are the only Christian organization and the only organization that was taken into the high school and the grade school in Sandy Hook. And I just talked to Tim yesterday, and they have so many people that want them to stay the whole year because of what they see these dogs are actually doing. So there's really a blessing that we got her when we did, because there's such a high demand now for these comfort dogs. But Zippy has been trained, and Steve is one of the trainers and handlers. Brian Gibbons is also a dog trainer and one of the handlers on the team. Lisa is a handler. Who else am I missing that's a handler? Rajeen is partial caregiver. She stays over at the Vance family. But who can I use an example? Who likes a dog that I can use as an example? Who will, like right here, who will be my example? Okay, Cindy, can you turn around? Let me just show you what Zippy is trained to do. She has a lot of different things that she'll do. But one of the things that she wants to do is she loves people. She just loves people. That's part of her breed. And so she does a thing called Visit. Oh, she went straight to lap. Actually, Visit is where she puts, this is called lap. She went straight to lap because I think she was a little too far away from Cindy. But lap is where she actually puts her two paws on top of the person and allows the person to hug her. And it brings the person comfort. And then the other thing that she does that's not so, you know, if you don't want the dog on your lap, is she just rests her head on your leg. And so you can feel that weightedness of her head on her leg and on your leg, and then you can pet her that way. There is the Visit. Very gentle, non-threatening. And I have to tell you, yesterday was her first half day here at Trinity. I'll see if I can say this without tearing up. But Sue Knitter, who I'm so thankful for, is a teacher at Trinity, and she just happened, I was taking something to her in the classroom, and she saw me in the hallway, and she goes, "Oh, I have a student who needs to be with Zippy." And I happened to bring Zippy with because we're trying to get her to get used to the building and seeing the students in the hallway. And it's amazing how many students walk in the hallway while I was just walking down, and all of a sudden the dog's there. And so you kind of stop, and she does have her business cards now, so you can get one on the back table. So anyway, Sue sees me, and she says, "I have a student who really needs to sit with Zippy." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." So we went across the hall into the computer room, and I said, it was a teenage boy whose mom has been really sick for the last 3 months. And Zippy was just her beautiful self. And I said, "Oh, can we practice?" I said, "I'm just learning how to do this handler thing." And so I said, "Let me practice." And we did the Visit where she put her little hand, her head. And this boy had been having a really hard time the whole day. I guess he was teary all day long. And then we did the Visit, or we did the lap where she stood, both her hands. The paws, I'm sorry, thank you. Her paws on him. And he grabbed her and hugged her, and he started crying, just crying. I know. And he just was letting it out, and I was, this is the first time I've had any experience as my handler. I'm going, "Oh my gosh, what do I do?" But you sit and listen. But my instinct as a mom is, I gotta go get Kleenex, kind of thing. So I ran across the hall to get Kleenexes, which I think in a way was kind of good because he got to be alone with the dog for just like 30 seconds, but still, he got to be alone with the dog. I come back, we do it again, and by this time then she's on the ground with her tummy, and he's, kind of laughing a little bit more. And within like 5 minutes, he just you could tell he just decompressed and went, "Okay, I'm good, I can go back in." How was he when he went back? He was better, smiling. And what I think was neat is then Sue, normally we don't go into the classrooms because of the allergy issue, but we did drop in for just like 5 minutes into Sue's classroom. And I went in there, and we did I showed the reading group that was there, the lap and Visits. And actually one of the examples was to a girl who was sitting right next to that teenage boy who she had just met with. And after Zippy did the Visit and lap with Marissa, we were just sitting right here, and she immediately went back to the teenage boy, put her head on his lap, because she can tell. There's something she can tell. And then, of course, he was like this, And then she laps him, on top of him, and then he's giving her this big hug. And because I don't think I asked her to do that. I think she just naturally went back to this boy. So that was just from a half day of being here at Trinity. We don't have her scheduled to be here every day at Trinity, but after yesterday, I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, she'll be here on Fridays for sure. And then we do have Lisa put together. She's like Zippy's Facebook page webmaster lady. So she gets to act out as a dog online. But the neat thing about it is Zippy has over 1,100 likes on Facebook. Already 1,100 likes on Facebook. And so this dog's going to draw people to our Christ and to our community, and also reaching out to the Christ Care and Calling. But what was I going to say? Oh, but there is a form online. So if you want to request a Zippy visit, it's on our regular Trinity Roselle page right now at the front the home page. And then you will see that it'll say request a visit, click here, and then you'll fill out this form, and then it gets emailed to me for now. And then we're going to then see what handler if we can actually make the time. But when I left Tim Hetzner yesterday from Lutheran Church Charities, he says, well, who's going to go out to Sandy Hook with me? That, first was Zippy. I'm like, let's just get done with Trinity right now. Let's get that down first. So she's available for the community, correct? Right. Yes, absolutely. She will get us into Lake Park High School. She will get us into, she went to the fire station, you said, and the police station this last week. And we did the daycare and the adult daycare. Steve did, so. Am I missing anything, you guys, that I can think of? She is a registered service dog. Yes. And those of us that are registered handlers, we have these passes, so we can take her and go eat at Applebee's with her. We can take her and go into anywhere, hospitals, anywhere. Did we find her card? Oh, yes, we have. Okay, good. So the government has taken God out of the public schools this year, Zippy and Comfort Dog, like at Sandy Hook.
We've pretty much brought God back into the public schools, because not only does she, not only are we kind of like showing her off that she's well behaved, thank you, Brian, for your efforts also, but when she is working and when people are talking to her, they seem to open up, and it's an opportunity for us to talk to them a little bit about God or offer a prayer with them and stuff. So she's a real blessing, real blessing.
Could you just talk really quickly to, like, when we were going to present this, we're presenting it as a new ministry. That's why it's coming under here. We were going to put it under personal and corporate outreach because it's a huge outreach.
Yes.
So when you request Zippy, it's like, hey, I'm going to a football game. I want to bring Zippy with.
Correct. Right. And we as a team, because there's about
Football
probably
players
8
like that.
of us on this Comfort Dog ministry team, as we get these requests, we're going to have to decide,
Right.
what's going to be, because otherwise she could be working all the time, but she can't work all the time. She will be able to do more of the church services on the weekends the older she gets. But like right now, someone mentioned yesterday, she goes, her tail doesn't wag when she has her vest on. It's like, well, because she's really thinking hard about being good. And so she's not wagging her tail. It doesn't mean she's not friendly. It's just that she's thinking. And so for a 1-year-old dog like this to really be thinking that long, it's like a first grader. They need to go out and roll in the snow too. So she needs to just have some time to be a dog.
Talk about that vest on, vest off thing.
Yes. So the vest right now is her work clothes. So when she has, we call her, let's get dressed, and she puts on her vest, or she doesn't put it on. She's not that good.
Super Zippy.
Yeah, that'll be the next trick. She can put it on herself. The little, Velcro is a little hard for her to do, but anyway, she just, when she puts that vest on, then she is in mode. But otherwise, she was in Bob's office yesterday, and I maybe throwing a ball a little bit, just a little bit, that you didn't know about. But, and she wants to play, and she's got some hops, as Ben would say. She can, really jump high. She wasn't over your desk or anything like that. Because she does stay in Bob's office, and then Rajeen also has her in her office, and Rajeen is totally in love. I'm just going to tell the whole group that because we just love this dog. She's just, I mean, especially after yesterday, and with that boy, I mean, teachers that are here, I know Michelle wants to set up something, and anytime during the day, if we know that she's here, or even if she's over at the Vances, we can just go across the street and try to go pick her up if we really have a situation that we need to go and get her. So don't hesitate to ask about that.
Praise
Time
God.
out.
One more real thing, she's not for rent. There are, I think Amy covered it, but there are specific people that are handlers and more being trained to be handlers. So it's a matter of scheduling and then one of us being able to go with her. And Amy looks like she's going to be our star pupil to start out with.
Thank you, brother. Well done. Well done. Zippy. There's the love. There's the love. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Did they pretty much cover it? And if you can go offline with them as well, that'd be great. So the last thing we're going to talk about is our Servant Leader Incubator. And this is something that's in process right now. We're going to be trying to design, using Omega probably to do it, but an elder growth track. Okay, so whereas Omega was going to be kind of that stewarding life piece, now Delta is going to be that piece for us. And we're going to save Omega, which is, 24 sessions versus Delta, just eight sessions. Very low bar. Okay, nobody's getting, okay. We're going to save Omega for leader development, okay? And usually, the way I'm going to see probably Omega being done here in the future is one-on-one. So we're going to have Delta, and then we're going to always do quarter the renew, refresh, refocus to keep reviving the spiritual growth plans. But when somebody steps in and they say, I'm ready to move into leadership, we're going to go, great. I want you to definitely start meeting with a mentor if you haven't already. And we're going to take you deeper into this journey through Omega and through shoring up some other things in your journey. Does that make sense? So it's not just going to be, we're going to try and choose the best. We're going to have a pathway of leadership development going forward. Okay? Groovy? Any questions about that? All right. But that's kind of still to come and future kind of stuff. All right. Now, Father God, we thank you for this gathering. We are your servants. We are your children. We are brothers and sisters in this family of faith that you have created, and you are trying to use our lives, Father, to grow your kingdom. We pray that you would use us however it is you've designed to do that, and move all of us deeper, and use us to help others grow in you as well. Thanks for this time. Thanks for this getting on the same page together. Bless us now as we go out. In Jesus' name.